Hi, my name is Nick Caruso, and this is a follow-up to a video about faxing from the MFD, but this is a technical training video just so that you can see how it was all done. The first thing is I'm using AutoStore connecting to the OXP capture component. I'm just doing scripting on the panel of the device. Now normally you would integrate with a fax server, maybe like RightFax or through either the route connector or through XML or FCPL or some different formats. And so I'm just going to show you the quick demonstration here so you can see it. So there was the fax. You should see the full video, but it goes in here and it hides, unhides fields based upon your selection. It does regular expression validation to make sure everything is correct. So when you try and do a fax, it'll error out if it's not correct. It's hitting an Oracle database to get the fax history, but we can also query the RightFax API. There's some limitations right now on what we can query, so you don't get back all this information. That's why in this case we're hitting a Oracle DB. This was actually for a customer's environment, but we could in the future we expect the API probably by this summer to have that capability. Additionally, the phone book here, this is hitting the RightFax API, where we can search against the phone book. We can select different users in that phone book. And this cover sheet capability here, this is as you toggle yes or no, it'll hide or unhide the cover sheet fields that are down below. I'm doing all of this through a web browser because the HP OXP capture component is a web-based component, which means that you just need to know this shortcut list. If you go to this URL on your server, oxpd16 site/list.aspx, and don't do that. Sorry, I typed in the wrong one. Don't do list.aspx, do menu.aspx, and it's a great tool, so you don't have to be in front of that HP device for testing. So let me show you what's happening on the background here. So on the HP OXP, if you click in here, there's the script file in here, which I'm just going to go into in detail. Here are my fields. So I'm going to go into the script file here. And a couple things. I'm doing an Oracle lookup, and I'm doing it through ODBC. So make sure you have those references in here. I'm interfacing with the RightFax AutoStore API. So put this in here. And I'm doing a regular expression search to make sure that the RightFax number is correct. So you've got to use that namespace. So on the form load, I am querying the fax history. So I'm creating a handle to the fax history field. I'm clearing out that fax history field, and up here I'm querying a list. I created a custom function to get the fax history. I'm passing in the logged in username into this function to retrieve back that fax history, which creates a key value pair list of your fax history, which I'm looping through here to add to my fax history field. The phone book, very similar structure here. I create a function called getAddressBook. I'm passing in the username, the logged in username. This comes back with a key value pair, list key value pair. I'm now looping through this phone book field and adding that to the resulting list. So I'm doing that on form load. On form submit, I'm running a regular expression match to make sure that the value is correct. And this would normally you would put in some sort of probably more descriptive what instruction. Right now it's just a placeholder. So on field change, if the phone book field changes, which means that the user selected a phone book entry, I'm getting that value and I'm populating it. I'm grabbing that value and I'm populating the fax field with the value that the user selected. The same thing with the fax history. If the person toggles the cover sheet, I will hide or unhide that cover sheet, those additional cover sheet fields. So if I scroll down here, the getAddressBook function, the RightFax API that comes with AutoStore is surprisingly simple. So I instantiate the API here. I log in. True means single sign-on, so the RightFax server, username and password, or true if it's a single sign-on. False, then you would pass in a username and password. And then I have a function here called getPhoneBook, and I pass in the username. And then here I'm just looping through the phone book and I'm adding it to my resulting list of key value pair strings. Same thing with the fax history. I'm connecting to an Oracle database here. Now I have a flag here for demo mode. So when it's in demo mode, I'm just going to hard code some values because I don't have access to the actual database. But you can see here, if you ever need to connect to an Oracle database, you can see how, maybe a simple query string here. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. Obviously, your Oracle DB would look differently. Now, in the future for fax history, I have asked for a feature request in the RightFax API that we're interfacing with to provide us all the details, because right now it's pretty limited. There is actually a call on how to do that. I created a helper VBScript class, which I will show you here. So let me bring that up. So here is my HP RightFax CS file, which I'm calling from AutoStore. Here's that COM wrapper that NSi created to interface between NSi and the RightFax API. Here's some documentation on that. So I created a VBScript just test class, which is very, very helpful for just testing if the API is working correctly. So you can run this VBScript file to instantiate the connection and query the phone book, query the fax history, query the contact details, and connect to the server. So I hope this is helpful. And if you have any questions, contact Nick Caruso at NSi. Thank you.